From our understanding of the brief, Australian Pork wanted to encourage customers to purchase and eat more pork within their diet. Australian Pork described how the market's guaranteed easies and busy beef preferers were hesitant and struggled with pork purchasing and consumption as they did not know how to cook it and were not familiar with it. This research project explored how Australian Pork could address these perceptions of the chosen groups by focusing on the constructs of the easiness to cook a meal and the successfulness of a meal. Within our research's design, we chose to explore people's perceptions of cooking, eating, and including time taken. We examined what elements of a meat product make it easy to cook with by analysing competitor products, as well as assessing participants' current view of pork and Australian pork campaigns. We explored how the chosen target markets are influenced by their lifestyle, family, and income on their purchasing decisions and behaviour. The importance of satisfaction of family members and friends was chosen to be explored as it relates to the successfulness of a meal. We also chose to look at the extent of external influences on individuals purchasing in store, at butchers, and in restaurants. This research applied an exploratory design conducting 30 interviews and 100 observations. It targeted an age range from 25 to 55, both males and females at different places such as supermarkets, butchers, and restaurants in different areas in Sydney. We chose in-depth interviews to gain deep insights of the desired target markets. It allowed us to collect information about different individuals' experiences, emotions, and thoughts towards their purchasing decisions and consumption of food products. Therefore, we are able to interpret their behaviour and note any emphasis on particular ideas, words, or attitudes in relation to pork. Observation was chosen to examine our target market's behaviours when they were purchasing meat products and consuming meals. Since the respondents were unaware they were being observed, their authentic behaviours could tell us what factors influenced their choices, such as people in the environment like families, waiters or butchers, as well as stimuli like price, signs, and labelling. Research Objective 1. To identify preparation time, cooking time, and waiting time are related to the ease and successfulness of cooking a meal. Research participants of these markets spend between 10 minutes to 2 hours to prepare and cook a meal. The results revealed that time is an important factor in the satisfaction of cooking and consuming a meal. Most interviewees wanted less cooking time, with one interview claiming that cooking is not my favourite way to spend my time. Research participants of the younger end of the demographic and young families stated, if a meal took too long to cook with many steps, I'm less likely to do it again. However, a popular way to reduce cooking time was to quickly prepare food and put it in the slow cooker. Research Objective 2. To explore how competitors portray their meat products to be easy to cook with and necessary for a successful meal in comparison to Australian pork. Observations and interviews show competitors using words such as quick, ready in 20 minutes, providing recipe cards, and hiring famous chefs to endorse their food products to generate the perception of easy cooking. People's perception of pork ranged from it dries out, it's too chewy, tastier, fattier, lean, and that they love it or don't use it too much or cook with it a lot. They also remembered the health benefits of pork of being lower in fat than red meat and high in iron when asked how pork compared to other meats. Furthermore, some respondents suggested using cooking competition shows such as MasterChef to promote pork. While the tagline, "Put pork on your fork," for Australian pork is memorable for many participants, with one interviewee claiming, "Their advertising campaign is very good and almost convinces me to try it again, but when shopping for groceries, I don't think of it when at the shops." However, many participants stated that they are not influenced by advertising when shopping. The portrayal of meat seems to have little impact on customer buying behaviours. Research Objective 3. To identify what factors of family lifestyle such as work, income, and age influence the preparation and consumption of a great meal. It was found that most of the respondents see cooking as an obligation. Families and individuals with busy working schedules wanted a quick meal that would be nutritious and healthy for themselves and their families. While experienced cooks enjoy cooking and find it relaxing, less experienced cooks avoid cooking complex meals and stick to what they know. Time is found to be one of the more pressing factors. However, when describing the actual eating of a meal, many participants valued it as good family time and chat time in their busy days. Most respondents stick to a weekly budget for economic reasons. The interviews show an average budget of $50 to $60 per family member. Observations also reveal that most people look for promotions and specials when grocery shopping. However, when there are special occasions or when the family is trying for variety, more expensive meat will be considered. The research showed that there was usually one main cook in a family, which was predominantly the female. They stated how they discovered recipes mainly by Google and recipe books, with other respondents mentioning cooking shows on TV and friends and family. Participants that were not as confident cooks or had children described that they would prefer to cook with what I know works, or that they have to be careful as they are fussy eaters. This was reflected in the observations where parents would ask children what they would like to eat for the week and choose groceries accordingly. Research Objective 4, to examine how influential children's friends, partners' consumption and participation in making food is important for a successful meal. For families, children and partners' preferences and satisfaction of meals heavily impacted their cooking and repeat purchases. A number of our observations correlate to the interview descriptions, as it was spotted that our target participants usually had discussion with their companies before making final purchase. Comparatively, we had participants say that kids should be able to try all food and that what is cooked is what is served and eaten. Families with children aged from 13 to 24 encouraged the children to cook once a week. Children who live out of home provide new recipes and meats, and people are open to friends' suggestions for new recipes. To share recipes with friends and family, it is either through word of mouth, Facebook, social media, recipe books, or email. Research Objective 5. To identify if packaging of a product can help in conveying pork as a cooking-friendly meat. It is found that advertisements generally have no influence on participants' purchase behaviours on meat. The older segment of the demographic portrayed that they were more confident in their skills, as one participant claimed, "Advertising doesn't affect me as I've been cooking for a long time and know what works. Is easy." Participants do not usually pay attention to packaging of the meat, as they regard the quality and freshness of the meat are more important factors. However, cooking instructions on packaging potentially increases the possibility of buying, especially when people are not familiar with the meat. Suggestions from butchers also result in an increase in participants' interest in trying unfamiliar meat. We concluded from our findings that less preparation, cooking and waiting time is preferred. A successful meal is perceived as one that is tasty, quick, eaten by everyone, and is nutritious. Easy meat products mean that it is quick, simple to cook, and easy to pair with other ingredients. People of these markets discover recipes from social media, recipe books, friends, and family who encourage trying new food products. Price and quality of meat are important in purchasing. When cooking in families, they cater to the preferences of partners and children. Children, partners, and friends are an important source to try new recipes and foods. They make simpler meals with kids, especially when they are young. Sampling and cooking demonstrations will encourage looking at recipe cards and packaging. More in-store Australian pork advertisements will remind customers of health benefits and products when purchasing. However, advertisements do not generally influence people's choice on meat. They rely on experience. Butchers' recommendations are helpful, as when people purchase at butchers, there is no packaging. Packaging is not so important when it comes to meat purchases. However, cooking instructions on packaging, health benefits, and appealing packaging increases the possibility of buying. Our recommendations. For recommendations, in order to target the desired target markets, Australia Pork should consider increasing the emphasis on quick and tasty meals that people can cook with pork. Show to customers how pork is easy to pair with other ingredients and provide recipe cards in store and sampling. Provide more pre-marinated pork in the supermarkets or butchers, which makes it easier for customers to cook at home. Have a stronger presence on social media, which emphasises the easy cooking nature of pork and all the health benefits by providing recipes online which people can share. Also providing budget-friendly recipes for families. Attracting children to try pork to get their parents to cook it more often. This could be through cooking programs run through school or providing kid-friendly pork portions, cuts and recipes. Because parents cater their family meals to their children's preferences, it would be a suggestion to portray pork as possibly a food that was so easy to cook that kids could do it. While price influences people's purchase decision, quality of the meat is significant. Thus, maintaining and highlighting the quality of each pack of pork is strongly recommended. Because Australian Pork already has memorable advertisements, it would be helpful to bring those images into supermarkets so that they are reinforced in store when individuals are making purchasing decisions, to remind them of the health benefits and quality. Participants described labelling and packaging as unimportant unless they were looking for instructions and time requirements. However, appealing packaging and words such as quick, easy, or ready in 20 minutes would attract buyers. In addition, food samples, cooking demonstrations, cooking instructions on packaging and recipe cards would get more buyers to look at food products that they are familiar with.